Hi guys, welcome back to my Brave XVS guide. Now I'm gonna review Bulwark. Sorry for the super late review. Actually, I'm kinda regretting not reviewed him sooner because it turns out he is really amazing and I would probably try to pull him back then if I had made the review. Let's start from the normal form. So Bulwark on the normal form is mainly a wind elemental buffer. He can give your party 45% wind damage boost and at the same time imbue the wind element, also in peril. It is interesting because in the future, we will get a premium wind character, Auron, who acts the same way like Tifa and legendary hero Sephiroth. I'm not sure whether the Japan version at this moment has wind buffer yet, but even if they are gonna get it someday, or yeah, maybe Japan already have one, the wind buffer, I think he or she will probably about the same like Roka, Sage of Thunder Sakura, and you will see later Bulwark has huge advantage compared to most buffer which available at this point. So yes, Bulwark is kind of future proof in my opinion. Bulwark also has many useful buffs. He can give allies 200% faster ABV rate with 1 physical evasion, 50% physical and magic mitigation with some side effect. It is very nice, especially the physical mitigation, because you can get counter and that counter will help you to gather limit burst crystals. The downside is he comes with only double cast. You need to use certain ability to activate his triple cast. Triple cast is quite important because he able to do bolting strike chain. So yes, you want to maintain his triple cast and his bolting strike chain based on spirit stats, which he is good at, and the element for this bolting strike chain also flexible. So yes, he is really good backup chainer. His stats buff require 15 limit burst crystals, but that's not a big problem since he gets 15 limit burst at the start of the battle or after Brave Shift. So you may want to keep switching back between normal and Brave Shift form. He has breaks, but it is only 80%. It does lower enemy accuracy, which can be helpful sometimes, but I won't rely on it unless you are really in a tight spot on your party composition. His grant is also useful for your tank or provoker. It grants 85% physical and magic mitigation and also recover 100% health. Superb support, right? He is able to imperil instrument resist and yes, do break damage for instrument. But I think it's kind of niche. And instrument is not even a worthy weapon in this game at the moment. For normal form limit burst, it's also decent because it grants 60% damage mitigation. Yes, it is lower than Beatrix or Elric Brothers, but at the same time, it grants 8,000 health barrier, which is huge. This requires 60 limit burst to cast, but maybe it's not that hard because you get 10 limit burst crystals per cast from your bolting strike chain. So yes, very easy to make his limit burst full. Last, if you are class of will lover, then he also able to fill your morale gauge. I can say that in normal form, he is great for normal and class of will contents. Now, for Brave Shift form. My favorites are the killer's buff. Whoa, he has 4 killer's buffs. They are 150%. These are huge, guys. Remember that our previous elemental buffers need to become X plus 3 before they have access to one type 160% killer buff. So wow, it is same like what Dragon Link. Very good. These killer buffs require limit burst crystals. But again, he is better because he gets 15 limit burst crystal at the start of battle. So he doesn't need support to be able to cast it on the first turn. Other nice things are he is able to imbue ice or dark element, and also increase those elemental damage by 30% plus 120% in peril. So in total, he is able to imbue 3 elements. How's that not awesome? On this form, he is also more powerful because he has an ability which increases his damage modifier. But again, don't hope too much for the damage because he doesn't get chain mood cap boost. His damage probably won't be bad because his spirit is nice, but it won't be top tier either. He is also able to give AoE re-raise buff even when it is only 30% health. His grandness on this form is also insanely useful, especially if you are holy users. It will recover all allies' health and MP by 100%. Even when you are not using holy, this one is still insanely useful because this day abilities cost tons of MP. So very nice to maintain your party. You have 2 charges, which is probably enough for most tough battles. The limit burst on this form is also amazing. It is AoE 350% all stats buff and cannot be dispelled. This really put other stats buffer except for Irid into shame. The cannot be dispelled property also make it better than Irid stats buff on some occasions. The health, MP recovery, and accuracy buff are simply bonus in my opinion. They are useful when you need it, but yeah, for most situations, these stats buff are the most important. Okay, so that's all for the Brave Ship form. So for comparison, I can say Bulwark is probably the best buffer we have at the moment. I just reviewed Roka. Watch it if you haven't. Roka and most previous buffers need to use their limit burst for the 45% elemental damage boost. But Bulwark, he can use it on the first turn right away because it is cooldown ability. You don't need to worry about limit burst crystals. You don't need to worry about super limit burst. That's awesome. Also, like you know that Bulwark has 4 killers buffs and they are 150%. Compare it to original in quote buffer which only have 100% killer for 2 types. It's obvious, guys, who is the winner. The only one who can rival these killers is White Dragonling. But again, White Dragonling needs help from others to cast the killers on the first turn, while Bulwark doesn't need that. The only disadvantage Bulwark has is he doesn't have limit burst damage buff, which is crucial at the moment. But I don't think it is a huge problem. First, he is global exclusive, who is made for Class of Wheels. Some Class of Wheel characters rely on their abilities, so limit burst damage buff is not a huge problem. If you really need limit burst damage buff, then you can simply use Zidane as TMR. Yes, you need to wait for 5 turns, but again, if what you have is Roka, then yes, you also need to wait for 5 turns, right? For the 300% limit burst damage buff, unless of course you have higher X plus 3 Roka. So in the end, my conclusion for Bulwark, I believe you know what I'm gonna say. In my eyes, he is the best buffer on the game at this moment. Do you need to have him? No, you don't. But if you have him, then I can say he gonna be, yeah, I can say great asset, okay? Even when you don't need that win element. He has lots of killers, multiple elements imbue, undispellable, stats buff, able to chain with bolting strike. What's not to love from him? It's hard to compare buffer because each one comes with special kit. For example, Roka able to support Dispel anytime. But again, Bulwark in my eyes is the most perfect, most complete. I can give him like 9.5 or even 10 out of 10, okay? Really great buffer. The Trust Mastery Word is also pretty decent health and spirit boost. So the total boost is 80% on par with boost from STMR. So great Trust Mastery Word. Extra fill rate is also nice for healer or supports. The Super Trust Mastery Word may be niche, but it is still a nice weapon. If you can equip it, let's say for your healer, for your support, and they need spirit stats, then it's good. The Vision card is also very nice when you have that STMR equipped on the character. And yes, you also get true double hand spirit boost, which is a little bit unusual and useful for certain character. So yes, congratulations if you have him. He is pretty decent. Ability wise, item wise, wow. Very good, okay? I think that's all you need to know about Bulwark. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Private Exvius Guide. Bye bye guys!